Welcome to our next installment of the International Executive Council event, IEC. My partner, Kevin Maloney. Kevin is here. He's going to end. We started this group 8 years ago with a vision of creating impact and giving back to the community with innovation in our network, and it's really worked in spades. We have done this for 8 years now, and we've done over 100 events. Our mission is really to serve you. We're all leaders in the community. We all have domain expertise in a different industry, and we have strengths that we could all share with one another. And this is what it's all about at the IEC. So we have 170 founding members, including Palmer Luckey. I love talking about Palmer. The story just keeps getting better and better. We have Anderl Dales here. And you know, we have legacy businesses, and we have startups, we have venture capital, we have creatives. And the bottom line is everyone is good. Everyone's like solid people, right? No one's here for shakedown. Everyone's here to learn from each other and help one another. And we've seen those relationships go from like this business thing to like, it then translates to this like personal thing. And then we find out that people go on trips together and their kids are hanging out together. And that's the vision that Kevin and I always had. So beyond just professional, it's also thought leadership. What we're here to learn today is about the immersive web. If you listen to Mark Zuckerberg last month, okay, no matter what your opinion is on Facebook or the Facebook or Meta, okay, the reality is you're all using their tools, okay, whether it's WhatsApp for communications or Instagram for photos of me, you're using one of their platforms, and what they've released on the immersive web and everything around augmented reality and AI and machine vision, machine learning, the developers of that are Codazen. And we're so fortunate to have Mike Merchant here today to share with us some of his thought leadership that's going to give every one of your businesses an edge on the immersive experience. We have folks like Garth Andros here, which I'm very honored. He's one of the founders of Deloitte Digital, and I know that this will be very, very cool for him. And we also have something called Growth Council, which Kevin came up with. It's kind of like the YPO model where you have these forum groups, because every one of us through life goes through personal pain in some level, whether it be health, personal, financial, whatever that is. And as peers, as leaders, we really kind of understand each other better than sometimes our own family or our own doctors or the people that we would think would be the ones to talk us through those pains. And those growth councils have been invaluable for our members. This is our last event we did at Anderl. Palmer was nice enough to, he wore flip-flops. I asked him to get really dressed up, and he still went cargo. We got an incredible tour of his showroom and to learn about the Fury, the new autonomous jet. This is going to be a multi-billion-dollar program for Anderl. So we're very excited to have that amazing experience. And right before that, we had Frank Luntz take us through his Smithsonian of a home in Brentwood. Every imaginable historic artifact in politics is there. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Like Thomas Edison's original light bulb right next to the patent, and he's like, here, just touch it, hold it. You could like hang out with it. He has a replica of the Oval Office. He has Monica Lewinsky's dress. I mean, how do you get this shit? You don't just find that on eBay, okay? And before that, that's me holding $1 million. We have, Henry, the CEO of Farmers and Merchants Bank, one of the top 100 banks in the country, talking to us about banking innovations and what happens to our currency. And, it was awesome. And these are the kind of experiences that you get with the IEC, and we're very honored. And before that, we had Virgin Galactic. This was Kevin's event where he called Michael Colglazer, who's the CEO of Virgin Galactic, not just talking to us about what it's like to be CEO, but what's it really like to travel in space? What sort of demand is there? Why is the mission of Virgin Galactic to go to outer space and to give people this experience? And how, as a brand, do you take people from the Virgin Casino and you're gambling on a slot machine, you have a chance to win a trip to outer space? So those are the kind of things that we got to hear from Colglazer, and this was held at Palmer's house. And we also have a great member app that we've put together. It has a Rolodex of all of our members and their information, as well as things that we're doing. So think about a privatized LinkedIn for our members. So those that aren't part of IEC, we invite you to be part of it. It's not just about us at the end of the day, it's also about the people in our community. And we have 3 students from UCI. If you guys don't mind raising your hands, I had you guys come by. Talk to these guys. They're the next generation. We have engineers from StubHub here. We have Anderl employees. We have Northrop Grumman, Swift Engineering. Grab TV, some of the greatest startups. So spend some time with this next generation. I mean, Kevin and I are all about that next generation, and appreciate you guys spending a few minutes with them. And then also, I got to say, Larry Armstrong's here. Larry's in the back. He was one of our first hosts of an IEC event at his incredible man cave. It's like a 3-story studio that he built with his wife's permission. And he built her a woman cave. Okay, there is such a thing. It's pretty awesome. And Larry's a renowned artist and also the chairman of the billion-dollar design firm Ware Malcolm. And he also has a book called Layered Leadership that he's going to gift to all of us. And I appreciate you guys taking some of that thought leadership to heart. And with that, these are some of the benefits of the IEC. We get your visibility out. As many people know, I own the Internet Marketing Association. So by being a member of IEC, we'll put you in our newsletter and in our thought leadership to get you out to the broader network. As an example, this video will be put on Impact TV so we can get Codazen's thought leadership out. And with that, I present to you a very good friend of mine, Joe Fries, who's the Chief Growth Officer of Codazen. Joe, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, sir. Can you hear me? I'm going to use this. It's probably better. How's everybody doing? Thanks so much for coming over here and taking your evening or your early evening to come spend some time with us. You've sort of fulfilled one of Mike's goals of taking this building that he bought a few years ago and transforming this space back here into an event space. So I'm sure Mike's super happy that you're all here, and we're excited to have you come enjoy our office building with us. I'm going to give you we're going to talk about the immersive web tonight, and we're going to give you a nice overview of some technology we're recently debuting, and that's going to be the majority of the program. I'm going to give you a quick overview of Codazen and who we are and how we got here today, and then I'm going to turn it over to the rest of our team to spend some time and talk to you. So here's a little logo of ours, and we have some fun with the little cursor there. Let me give you a schedule. First, I'm going to give you a brief overview of it. Mike's going to give you an overview of what the immersive web is. We got a bunch of toys around here. We're going to actually give you a live demonstration of it. Munir Seaman, who is the man behind actually taking a lot of Mike's vision for all this and bringing it to life, is going to come up and give you a live demo of it. And then what we want you to do, we've sort of had happy hour, but we'll have more happy hour. We've got music, we've got food, we've got booze, but what we really also want you to do is take part and come have a demonstration of it. So we're going to show it to you, but we want you to come try it out. We want to learn from you what you think of it. We want to get your feedback, and we want to hear, help guide us a little bit with, as we go to market with this, what we can do with it. So let me walk you through a little bit. Let me give you a quick introduction to Mike. Mike Merchant and the building you're in, Codazen is a 17-year-old business that specializes in helping companies build intelligent marketing systems, and we're a digital engineering agency. We've got one main client and some other business, but we do a majority of our business for Meta. And how we got to Meta is through Oculus years ago. The company here and some of the people in the building built the original Oculus stack, and that company got bought by Meta, and a lot of the things you see here and the headsets and stuff like that we have in the building. Mike's this super curious, intellectually curious person, self-trained software engineer, and those kind of themes bleed through the business. If you're around our building, you'll meet a lot of super bright people that are super intellectually curious and like technology and like seeing things really are on the cutting edge. Munir, in the same space, who's going to demo the technology. Munir is another entrepreneur, has had his own business, came over from the Middle East, ended up at a company in Canada developing airplane simulators. One of the youngest guys ever there to do that. And ultimately, a lot of what you'll see and a lot of his thought process you'll see blended into what we're creating here, understanding all those different systems and various different types of technology. So we're super lucky to have Munir come present to you. Also in the room, they're not up here on a slide, but let me just mention a couple people. We've got Steve Kim, our Director of Production in the room. We got most of our managers around here. We've got Jack Robbins, our Director of HR. We hope you guys interact with them. You know, there's other reasons as you're networking, come meet the rest of our people. Where's Nolan? There he is, you're in the dark over there. Nolan Morrison, our managing partners here, who leads most of our efforts with Meta and helps lead most of our engineering team. And the last two people I got to thank, Amy and, there she is, Brittany right there. This building, you know how you have a house party and you got to clean it up before people come over? Now, this place is usually pretty neat, but there were some things that needed to get done in the last 2 days, and this building would not look like this without Amy and Brittany's efforts. So thanks you two for getting the house ready so our guests could be here tonight. Super awesome of you guys. With that, I don't know if I put anything. I think let me tell you this. I'll give you the quick rundown. I'm gonna let Mike do the rest. As I said a moment ago, 17-year-old business. Most of our work is not your garden variety website. These are super interconnected things that interconnect into people's back offices. We're not building $40,000 websites. We're building projects that are $100,000, $200,000, large scale, that have a lot of connectivity and a lot of intelligence into someone's back office. And a lot of intelligence trying to figure out potentially how people are dealing with their customers out there. We've had that by virtue of some of the clients we have and the large budgets they can afford to do some very, very unique work. And again, with the bright minds in the building and things like that, we've had this super lucky opportunity to do some really unique things out there in the world when it related to technology. We operate under this big banner, rethink experience, rethink results. The idea is, we tend not to just look at it and do what the customer says. We tend to really try to go deeper and say, how can we do it better? How do we make it more beautiful for you? How does it, get you a better desired result? And that takes thinking, and it takes a lot of really smart people to do that kind of work. So most of the day, that's how the business operates today. What you're going to see today is we've launched 2 products this year. One's called Perception, which is a generative AI product around color. We're not going to, we've spent some time with some of this group, with Sanan's group, but we're going to talk about the Immersive Web, which is about a product we've been working on for about 120 to 150 days now that we think is very unique. And without stealing Mike's thunder, I'm going to bring Mike up to spend some time and really introduce it to you. And again, we want to get your feedback, and I'll come up at the end and talk a little bit more and figure out how we round it out. So no further ado, Mike.
So I had the good fortune of getting a chance to pitch Oculus. It was a little over 10 years ago on our Codazen services. So at this time, we were only a 7-year-old company. We had done a bunch of work for some good companies like Kelley Blue Book. We did their price advisor experience. If you've ever bought or sold a car and checked the price, we designed that experience and tied it into their trillions of data points. And so we were already doing complex work like that, but I got a chance to meet with the team at Oculus when they were I think probably about 50 people here in Irvine. And I got to pitch both of their VPs. And they said, we are hiring the best and brightest. We're like Google. So we don't work with a lot of partners because they can't keep up with us. And you seem like a bright guy, you seem like a nice guy, but I'm not sure it's going to work out, but thank you, we'll take your information. But on the way out the door, they said, if you want to try our VR headset, we'd love to have you demo it. And so I got the chance to try. It was a hand-built prototype at the time, so they're like, be careful with it because this is only one of 2 in existence, and don't drop it or anything. I was blown away by the experience, even though it was a difficult experience. It made me a little nauseous. The technology was very early days, but I was blown away. And the other interesting thing they told me was, someday these are going to be as small as a pair of glasses. You're going to be able to put those on and experience this kind of virtual experience. And this is not just VR for VR's sake. This is the next computing platform. This is the next computing platform beyond the mobile phone. And so I was taken aback by that, and we had this web development company And so like literally in that moment, I tried VR, I started saying to the VP that was giving me the demo, I said, wouldn't it be amazing if you can use this and you can browse the web, and the web could like come alive and stuff could come off the page and so on and so forth. And so that was the genesis of this idea, the seed in my head of this immersive web. And that seed has stayed there for a very long time as the years have passed by. But we have you here to share what our belief is this is the time for the immersive web in the next generation. In the very soon, very coming years, even you can use it today. So why would we use immersive technology though? And not just because I think it's cool or you might think it's cool or it feels sci-fi, but there's actually proven results from it, business results. So that's what's exciting about it, but it's not that easy to achieve. But 77% of consumers that have used VR and AR, they said they would use it more often, they would shop more often using that if they could use that. And we use the word XR. Does everybody know what kind of XR? So XR is that umbrella term that covers VR, virtual reality. It's the big headsets you put on to play games. And AR, augmented reality, you can hold up your phone. If you've ever checked out like, is it 21 Crimes of Wine or Bored and Thirsty, hold up your phone and you can see something come alive through your phone. That's augmented reality. Or you can see a piece of furniture in your house. So XR is that umbrella term over VR and XR, or VR and AR, and there's all kinds of other terms. Mixed reality. It's a brave new world, and lots of really cool technologies. I just went to a demo. Mustafa just joined a demo of Sony. They have a monitor where you look at it and the products actually create a 3D image of something on the screen that comes out of the monitor. It's a spatial display. It's pretty amazing without any glasses at all. So these technologies are coming to fruition. They're actually being sold, millions of headsets being sold. This stat amazed me. So House found that XR consumers were 11 times more likely to purchase than users that weren't using XR. So that's an incredible stat. More than 10 times more likely to purchase something when they could see that furniture in their house, right? Using an AR technology or something like that. And XR consumers spend almost 3 times as much time with the content and the experience. So pretty amazing stats. But again, there's some challenges, right? Not everybody wants to put on a big bulky headset when they want to shop, right? That's just not something a lot of us want to do. But we'll explain why that's going to change. So I'm going to take you through a 10-year kind of quick history of VR, of XR technologies, and then we'll look forward into the future, into the next 10 years. So the product that I tried was right in this phase of DK1 and DK2. It was experimental experiences. It was experimental hardware. And the reason it's called DK stands for developer kit. These devices were not made for consumers. They were made for developers because none of the content existed. So they had to get these devices out to developers to learn how to use them, experiment with them. We stood up something called Oculus Share, where developers could create an experience for the DK1 or DK2, and they could upload it, and other developers could download it. It was a very experimental time of learning what works, doesn't work. During this period, and even for a time after, those experiences made a lot of people nauseous. Some people found that they were like VR tolerant, and other people weren't. So again, these are it was a very experimental time. And when I say no boundaries, that's not necessarily a positive thing. The current devices, they make you define a boundary of where you're going to play, the space that you're going to play in. Back then, there were no boundaries. So you had a lot of YouTube videos of people playing VR and then punching through their TV, or or falling over furniture that was in the space. So, again, it was a very interesting experimental time in the early days of VR. So then came the consumer products, and so you had Oculus Rift was actually a device that you had to have a high-end PC. Did anybody purchase Oculus Rift? Anybody have? Okay, a couple. So Oculus Rift, you had to have a high-end PC with a certain level of graphics card. You had to set up these stands that were going to track where your head was in the headset. It was a big setup. So again, not your everyday average consumer product, but consumers could use it. The cost of developing experiences was very high, and it still is high to this day. You're using a gaming engine, 3D gaming engine, to create a fully immersive game. You'd have to deploy that in the App Store. So what I'm interested, we build things for the web. The web is very easy, right? It's accessible. You click a link, you open it up, you're on the web page, you're in the experience. With apps and app stores, there's a lot of steps, right? You have to, again, with VR, you had to have the machine, you had to have the device, you had to do all these steps. So again, that limits your addressable market. If you're a business that you want to create content for this new medium, this exciting new medium in VR, you got to overcome all these hurdles to get to your audience. And by the time you spend millions of dollars to create that, to address a limited audience, and they have to go through multiple steps, the ROI is very difficult to justify, right? And not just that, if it's an everyday consumer and not a gaming user, you put them into this fully immersive 3D environment, it's very uncomfortable, right? And they don't know what to do, and they have to learn all these new set of controls. So these devices were a lot of fun, great for gaming, but a struggle if you're trying to do anything else beyond that. The real innovation with Oculus Quest and Oculus 2, or Quest 2, was that these were standalone devices where all of the hardware and the experiences would be in the headset. So you no longer had to be plugged into this high-end PC. Huge step forward in innovation. So every step of the way, all of these steps were huge leaps in innovation that have continued for the last decade. So even though I'm sounding very negative, the hard work that Oculus and Facebook and now Meta has put in the billions of dollars, it's for a reason. It's because this is for the next computing platform. Okay, they missed the mobile phone, that computing platform. Okay, Facebook and Meta didn't get a chance to build their own mobile phone, so Apple and Google dominate that market. But there's a belief that this is the next computing platform, and that's why these billions of dollars are being spent in that. Okay. So here we are today. So we're at a very, very exciting time in my world because we work primarily in web development and web experiences. There's a technology that has quietly been rolling out that is in the updates of your browser on your laptop and on your mobile phone. It's called WebXR technology. It's a browser standard that is standardized across browsers. So for us as web developers, that's a standard we can take advantage of. Most people don't even realize it's there or care that it's there, and it doesn't, it doesn't really matter until somebody starts to use it in the way that is effective. And so we are very excited about this. Even Apple just announced a few weeks ago, I know they've scaled back production of the Apple Vision Pro recently, but they just announced WebXR support within the Apple Vision Pro. So, and I'll tell you in a minute why that's important. So Meta has been working at this now for the last, since 2022. They just released, they released these glasses, which are smart glasses. And with these glasses, I can talk to it. It has built-in AI. It has cameras. I can play music. I'll try a live demo at the risk. Let's see. Hey Meta. Hey Meta, what am I looking at? I should have said smile for the camera.
Looking at a group of people seated in chairs, likely attending an event or presentation.
Said, you're looking at a group of people sitting in chairs, likely attending an event presentation. I can say, hey Meta, what does that sign say if it's in Spanish? And it'll translate it for me in real time. I can say, hey Meta, play Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's trying to take up.
In Spanish, it would be salida.
I don't know if you heard that, but it saw this sign. It said the sign says exit, and it said in Spanish that would be salida. So these are really powerful. They have amazing technology built into it. The fact that you can fit the batteries, the processor, the wireless signal controller, all of that into this form factor is pretty amazing. The one thing that's missing is a screen in order for this to realize that vision that they shared so many years ago. But as you can see, Meta's working at it from both angles, right? They're working on smart devices like this that don't have screens, that are very easy form factor, and they're working at it from the VR angle, with very fully high-powered 3D devices. And so that the Meta Quest 3 that you'll get to try later today. We took the strap off just so it's easy to try it out. This is an extremely powerful device, the most advanced VR device ever. And Meta's built an incredible ecosystem of apps and experiences built on that hardware. So, and then as Sinan mentioned, I think it was less than a couple months ago, Meta just debuted their Meta Orion prototype. Did anybody see that? You guys? So the Meta Orion prototype, it looks very kind of similar to this Ray-Ban glasses like this. They have the screens, okay? It's a prototype. It's a very expensive product. It's not ready for consumers yet. But they had Jensen Huang, even Palmer Luckey got to try them. I haven't got to try them myself, but everybody that's tried them has said they're very impressive. They're really incredible technology. And Palmer said that was really like, it was, what he envisioned. If he had stayed with, been able to stay with that company, it's really the realization of what he imagined it would be. And so it's a pretty incredible moment that technology even exists. The amount of innovation that has had to happen on so many fronts to get to that level. And the reason why that is important and revolutionary is these are not, those are not going to be very hard to put on. Okay, they might start out and be fairly expensive, but that will change over time. But it's not a big bulky headset anymore, right? So once those are available to consumers, it's going to really change computing, and it's going to change what we believe is going to change the web into what we call the immersive web. The immersive web is going to involve content that is dramatically lower cost. So no longer will you have to create an experience using a full game engine to create all the 3D environment and everything like that. You're going to be able to create experiences that are, not in the millions of dollars. That's going to come way down. Because it's web, and because this technology exists on your phone today in your pocket, it's going to be accessible everywhere. The user experience is no longer many, many steps to go through, right? You don't have to drag your PC and plug it in and put up sensors and all this stuff, or download an app. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to. It's as easy as accessing the web. And because it works on the phone or browser as well as headsets, there's no headset required. What we believe at Codazen and what we're working on is a platform that does just this. And we're starting out with very simple single-page experiences that look very much like a landing page, like a single landing page, or even an email. We're going to demonstrate what an immersive email looks like. And later on, as we enhance that user experience, it'll become a multi-page experience where you could have kind of an entire self-contained website within an immersive experience. And that's what we believe the immersive web will be. The thing that we're really excited about is creating an immersive web that is very consistent and very familiar, instead of dropping people into these fully 3D immersive environments that are very jarring and getting learning and getting used to. We're going to be able to make it very simple with just these 2D scrolling panels, and that's pretty much how you navigate the experience. Fast forwarding further into the future, so Meta's leading the pack so far with their AR glasses, with their Orion prototype. So we can only anticipate that those will be available at some point. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know. But Apple is hot on their heels. Sony, we have here. Google and Microsoft. So Sony has PlayStation VR and lots of other amazing spatial technologies. Google's been developing VR technologies for many years. And Microsoft has HoloLens and that whole technology focused on the enterprise. What you're going to have in the future is very photorealistic rendering. Right now, some of what we're going to show you, you might say, it looks a little cartoony or looks maybe not perfect. It's going to get better. But we're going to have photorealistic rendering on mobile phones, in the glasses, and on desktop computers and in VR. There's going to be world scale models, so you can go inside a building and, again, if I was an electrician and I had the plans for this building, I could look around and it's going to be able to overlay a world scale model around me in this building, so I could troubleshoot things or understand the plans through my smart glasses. Okay. Imagine Gen AI integration where you have a 10-year-old website about volcanoes and you send your kid to go learn about volcanoes to this volcano website, and they put on their glasses, and Gen AI can take that information about how a volcano works, and it can generate a video or a 3D model of that volcano. So they can understand it visually and in 3D. And there's going to be new support for browser standards. If you're not in our world, you don't really care about that, so that's fine. But we're going to help push forward, as Codazen, we're going to help push forward some of these new standards that enable these technologies. The user experience at this point, I don't know how many years in the future, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10. What we want to help create is a general purpose web browsing experience where you can browse the entire web in an immersive web environment, okay? And we're planning to make open source contributions to make that a reality. The web is an open environment. We need to have frameworks and standards that we all can work with. And we're excited about collaborating with manufacturers like Sony, manufacturers like Meta, to make sure that those immersive web standards work with those new hardware and devices. So, in summary, the immersive web, this is a prediction. Immersive web, partly because we're creating it, so it's a little bit. We know a lot of this stuff is possible because we've already built some of it. The immersive web is going to be 2D panels within a 3D XR environment. Okay, so you're not going to have to be thrown into a totally 3D environment where you're trying to figure out how to use it. That 2D panel is something that we scroll through on our phone, right? That's a 2D panel, two-dimensional, flat. We scroll through it on our websites. They're 2D. The web is 2D. And that's not going to change for many, many years, and it may never change. We like our 2D, right? But we're going to bring that 2D into this 3D environment, and then we can enhance it, like I said earlier about that idea about models coming out of the web page. So 3D models can come out of the web page, can be enhanced next to the web page. It can be enhanced with videos, with user-generated content from TikTok, from AI-generated content. And why do we call it immersive, or what makes it immersive? You're literally going to be able to go shopping and then put on your glasses and reach out and grab the product and hold it in your hand and put it in your shopping cart. All virtually, all digital. Okay? Of course, if you want to go in the store, that's fine too. I'm sure there'll be amazing experiences in store with the same technology, because all you got to do is, you're not bringing your Quest 3 lugging it to the store to experience an AR experience, but you could have these in your pocket, right? So you'll be able to teleport anywhere, have this virtual experience. One of the things that's amazing about these XR, even the VR experiences, is the audio, and this too. Spatialized audio is very underrated. People don't really understand that it's there. But when you put these on, these spatial audio, if there's something happening in the room, as you turn your head, I'll hear it behind me. And as I turn to face it, I hear it in front of me now. So that is really, it makes it more immersive, right? Because you really feel like you're there. So you'll be able to collaborate with people in virtual spaces. You'll be able to interact with virtual AI-driven avatars. I know that sounds scary, but it's pretty cool. We've actually demoed that technology. And as I mentioned before, you're going to have really photorealistic rendering. So if you're a car manufacturer, or if you manufacture military drones or anything like that, you'll be able to really have a photorealistic rendering of that device for training, for sales and marketing. And it'll be really immersive and impactful. So again, why now? Why is this the moment when this is going to take off? That XR ecosystem, that VR and AR ecosystem is established. The tools are out there. The app stores are out there. The devices are out there. The technology's out there. The browser support for 3D is there in your pocket already. And with the announcement of the AR glasses, that is really what's going to change everything. And I have a device here that is, this is a Chinese manufacturer. They're pretty far ahead, so we're happy to demo this for you. This is you can buy this today. This is from a company called XReal. And these are AR glasses that I can see my Chrome browser, I can see my calendar off in the distance. So this is already available today. Pretty cool technology. This is kind of like Google Glass next level, and it works pretty good. You can try this out. So So yeah, that last thing is really the magic that this product works off of a mobile phone, but Meta's they demonstrated is just the glasses standalone. So it's pretty incredible. So how could we use this technology? Right now, this is like phase 1. We can use this today. We can build experiences today to create amazing product demos for consumer electronics, virtual tours for tourism and hospitality and university marketing, interactive brochures for real estate, and then space and defense is pretty amazing. So we got a cool space demo that we'll show you, training. But you guys will have to tell us how you see this being used in your industry, because this is so very new, and we'd love to brainstorm that with you as well. So I'm excited to demonstrate for you today our immersive web platform. This is the very first immersive web platform called Ready 3D. And I'm going to invite Munir Saman, who's been hard at work with us, leading the team that's been developing this platform. And we're going to do a live demo for you. So welcome up here, Munir.
Within the browser, it's all very intuitive. We don't have to teach the user anything. Just go and scroll. You could also do your own montage and asking you to spend some time. And this is a little bit too loud. But as you can see, it's actually 3D. So it's like it moves around. You can see the atmosphere. And it's quickly becomes a little bit more immersive than just seeing the 2D model. But what's really, really exciting, I'm then trying to show it to you. I'm not sure if it's going to capture the magic of it. If you try in the headset, so I'm going to take one of these headsets on right now. So this same exact experience is almost 10 to 100 times better in the headset. And by the way, before we go there, it actually works on your mobile too. So it's not like just for desktop. So on my mobile, I already have it. You're gonna not be able to see it in a different form factor, but it already exists too there. Let me go show you how it looks like in the headset. So I'm gonna start casting in a minute and see how it will look like. Just all right. So let me just go find the mouse here. I'll put it on full screen mode. I'm trying to capture the experience. Let me put it back there. All right. So as you can see, this is the experience. I have my joystick here that moves it. So let me go back and make sure that you guys all see it. This is the same experience that you just saw, but in the headset. And I can scroll. You're going to hear the sounds of it. They're playing the same sounds that we just played. And I move and scroll, move and scroll. It's fully immersive. And I can actually come really, really close and see it up close, right? What's cool about it is, like I can change it. Maybe I'll look at someone that's sitting over there. It's very immersive, but also, hopefully I won't trip. This is a 3D background that's 360. So you can change this to anything that you want. And as you scroll, you can change the atmosphere. And you just teleported people to a different place while they're sitting at home. That's technically what it is. You can flip between pass-through mode and VR mode at one button. So obviously the user, after they get immersed, and as Mike was mentioned, they're 10 times more likely to buy a device if they are experiencing this experience. There's a call to action button. You click on it, you go buy the ticket. We think that this is going to be a game changer in the industry, because if you think about the experiences that we had paper marketing, prints, and then we have TV campaigns, and then we had, after that, digital marketing on YouTube and social media. But we've never had there's no breakthrough since, I don't know, 2014 in this market. This is the next campaigns marketing revolution. You're going to be able to send people marketing campaigns, immersive marketing campaigns, to their home. They can use the AR devices or VR devices for this. I invite you all, I'm going to be sitting here, I invite you all to come try it out for yourself. If you haven't tried a VR device before, it's very fun. And we'll try the same experience, and we'll show you other experiences as well. And without further ado, Joe. Thank you, Joe. All right. You want this?
I don't need that one. I think he wants me to wear this too. Okay? Is that working now? Thanks, Munir. You know, in a very short period of time, Munir's helped Mike take the vision of what this is and sort of a dream about it. And there's a movie somewhere in here we're going to show you in a minute, and bring it to life. So we're super excited about it. We've worked on it in a short period of time. We think there's a lot of use cases out there. Mike presented some data. We are currently marketing it, and you'll see a campaign come out soon. It's sort of under cloak right now, but as soon as we are allowed to tell people, we'll show it all to you in about 30 days. And we've particularly targeted certain markets. That's why you see the sort of the simulated version of the Paris piece that we've built, because we think particularly in travel and tourism, events, people visiting places where these experiences where you can show someone in a much more realistic way what they're about to experience, so they can make a decision whether they would want to go there. It is sort of expensive right now, candidly. We're building sort of bespoke experiences for people. Our vision of it long term, over the next 12 to 24 months, we think we'll build it out into a piece of technology that could be more of a self-use type of piece of technology, more of, you know, self-service, but that'll take us a little bit of time. So I would ask you tonight, one, talk with us about it. You definitely got to come up and try it, one, and play around with it and have some fun with it. That's why you're all here. Two, give us some feedback on it. And three, if you think it's for you, come talk to us. Or if you think it's for someone else that we're not aware of, tell us who that is, you know, and help us here a little bit. We would love to, any kind of feedback you're willing to offer is super appreciative.